So intricately is this world resolved, of substance arched on thrust of circumstance, the earth's organic meaning so involved, that none may break the pattern of his dance, lest, deviating, he confound the line of reason with the destiny of race, and, altering the perilous design, bring ruin like a rain on time and space. Lover, it is good to lie in the sweet grass, with a dove-soft, nimble girl. But, O lover, lift no destroying hand, let fortune pass unchallenged, beauty sleep. Dare not to cover her mouth with kisses by the garden wall, lest, cracking in bright air, a planet fall. The man who sold his lawn to Standard Oil joked with his neighbors come to watch the show, while the bulldozers, drunk with gasoline, tested the virtue of the soil under the branchy sky by overthrowing first the privet row. Forsythia forays and hydrangea raids were but preliminaries to a war against the great-grandfathers of the town. So freshly lopped and maimed they struck and struck again, and with each elm a century went down. All day the hireling engines charged the trees, subverting them by hacking underground, in grub domains where dark summer's mole rampages through his halls, till a northern seizure shook those crowns, forcing the giants to their knees. I saw the ghosts of children at their games, racing beyond their childhood in the shade, and while the green world turned its death-foxed page, and a red wagon wheeled, I watched them disappear into the suburbs of their grievous age. Ripped from craters much too big for hearts, the club roots bared their amputated coils, raw gorgons matted blind, whose pocks and scars cried "Moon!" on a corner lot, one witness moment, caught in the rear-view mirrors of the passing cars. The city squats on my back. I am heart-sore, stiff-necked, exasperated. That's why I slammed the door. That's why I tell you now, in every house of marriage, there's room for an interpreter. Let's jump into the car, honey, and head straight for the Cape, where the cock on our housetop crows that the weather's fair, and my garden waits for me to coax it into bloom. As for those passions left that flare past understanding, like bundles of dead letters out of our previous lives that amaze us with their fevers, we can stow them in the rear, along with ziggurats of luggage, and Celia, our transcendental cat, past mistress of all languages, including Hottentot and silence. We'll drive non-stop till dawn, and if I grow sleepy at the wheel, you'll keep me awake by singing in your bravura Chicago style Ruth Etting's smoky song, "Love Me or Leave Me," belting out the choices. Light glazes the eastern sky over Buzzard's Bay. Celia gyrates upward like a performing seal, her glistening nostrils a-quiver to sniff the brine-spiked air. The last stretch toward home. 20 summers roll by. His paintings grew darker every year. They filled the walls, they filled the room. Eventually they filled his world, all but the ravishment. When voices faded, he would rush to hear the scratched soul of Mozart endlessly in gyre. Back and forth, Back and forth he paced the paint-smeared floor, diminishing in size each time he turned, trapped in his monumental void, raving against his adversaries. At last he took a knife in his hand and slashed an exit for himself, between the frames of his tall scenery, through the holes of his tattered universe, the first innocence, and the light came pouring in. One summer, like a stone dropped down a well, I sank into myself and raked the bottom slime. When I stretched out my thigh, it touched the dark, and the dark rolled over me, a brackish life filled with cups of my skin. Then gradually I heard, above the steady breathing of the land, a high, inhuman chord, light years away, out of a cleaner space, a more innocent age, as when pilot angels, with crystal eyes and streaming hair, rode planets through the skies, and each one sang a single ravishing note that melted into the music of the spheres. What wakes me now like the country doctor startled in his sleep? Why does my racing heart shuffle down the hall for the 100th time to answer the night bell? Whoever summons me has need of me. How could I afford to disobey that call? A gentle, insistent ring pulled me from my bed, from loving arms, though I know I am not ready yet, and nobody stands on the stoop, not even a stray cat slouches under the sodium lamp. Deceived, or self-deceived, I can never atone for it. Oh, I should be the one to swell the night with my alarm. When the messenger comes again, I shall pretend, in a childish voice, my father is not home.